project! Woo!
Who got the corn?
That's popcorn. That's mine.
That's yours.
That's an experiment.
Well, my name is Rebecca Walters, and I'm the program manager of the Big Garden. And what the Big Garden Project is it's a group of 26 gardens, and mostly in East Omaha, mostly east of 42nd Street. That area was designated as a federal enterprise zone, which means there's a large chunk of poverty living in that area. So what we do is we try to build up the capacity of individuals to grow their own nutritious food. So really what we do is twofold. It's to allow access to nutritious food for individuals that might not otherwise have that access, but it's also to build community and community engagement in some neighborhoods that might be lacking.
I'm Diane Ferry, and this summer, interning for the Big Garden program, I really enjoyed working with our senior center. We would go there about every other week and do programs with them, but then usually 2 to 3 times a week we went while they had their other programs and garden with them and help them learn how to pick produce if they were unfamiliar with the plant. And getting to work with an older population was a lot of fun, because lots of times when you think teaching, you think of kids. And learning from the seniors had so much to teach us. We learned so much about their histories, the history of Omaha, things of little knowledge that they had to share that I learned a lot from them.
Hi, I'm Annie Ashby, and I'm a Big Garden intern this summer. Another great thing about the gardens is working with kids in the garden who may not know that much about nature or gardening at all. And it's so funny at the beginning of the summer to see kids who think we can grow bananas or think that a seedling will be done in like a week, and just watching how much they can learn from being in the garden. And at first, a lot of them aren't really excited about getting dirty, being in the sun, but after a while, once they get used to it, they get really excited even about weeding. Like, we've had kids ask, why didn't we get a weed today? And so we make sure we do it next week for them, and it's so great when you can make weeding fun. And a lot of them have just shown so much growth that we know that they'll probably keep gardening for the rest of their lives, and if they don't, at least they learn something that they're not going to learn in school.
Hi, my name is Anna French. I'm a summer intern with the Big Garden, and one of my favorite things this summer, or I guess one of the challenges that we often face with these gardens is trying to get people out in the gardens, actually physically, involved in growing these plants and building communities. So. We will hold open gardening hours, and we'll be there, and a few people will come. But one of my favorite examples of really with the challenge of getting people out in the garden is Metro Community Church and they partner with Nebraska AIDS Project for their garden. And so we at the beginning of the summer we were really struggling trying to get people out in the garden, and so we started attending the Nebraska AIDS Project hosts a weekly luncheon at MCC Church, and so we would, Aaron and I would go and we would attend these luncheons and just talk to these people. A lot of them were clients with the Nebraska AIDS Project. We would hear their stories, and we'd talk to them, tell them who we were, and week after week we would go back to the luncheons, and every week there would be more and more people out in the gardens afterwards working with us there.
I'm Mike Freeman. And I would say my favorite part of working for the Big Garden has been the opportunity to actually watch a community sort of develop. So instead of everyone kind of being off in their own world, but living together, just watching them all start coming together to work on one communal project and really get to know each other.
So hey, my name's Aaron French. I'm originally from Omaha, Nebraska, from Midtown. But I go to school out on the East Coast now, but I'm back here, home in Omaha, this summer working for the Big Garden Project. I'd like to tell you all about one of our gardens that we just started this summer. It's at 51st and Northwest Radial Street in Omaha, and we're working with Lutheran Family Services and Lutheran Refugee Services to help a group of Burmese, Bhutanese, Karen, and Karenni refugees start a garden. So these are folks that have been living in refugee camps in Thailand for the past, anywhere from a year to 20 years, and the U.S. government has just paid for them to come to the United States, and they don't speak the language and they don't have jobs, and so we decided to help start a garden in behind these apartment buildings where they're living. And it's been the most amazing experience. These people have planted plants that we had no idea even existed. They planted ginger and all sorts of Asian greens and everything like that. And they're really taking on the initiative to run this garden by themselves.
I'm Matt Freeman, and I would say that probably the best experience, or the best part about working with the Big Garden this entire summer has been the chance to build relationships with people. Like, there are people here that I met, and at first were really abrasive and didn't like me, and kind of created a toxic environment that now I'm close with, and that I'll come back and garden with next summer, regardless of what I'm doing. I would travel to see them, just to make sure that I maintain that relationship.
Hi, my name is Megan Horton. I'm one of the Big Garden interns this summer. And for me, the important part of this project has been just making those connections with other people and teaching them how they can take that back to their own community. One of my favorite experiences is when we've had these mission groups come in and they've gone to these gardens, we've made them do hard work, but then they've come out of it saying, hey, I want to have a garden in my community and I want to help people in my own community. So that's been an amazing experience for me, and it really makes it worth it.
Hi, I'm Dan Swanson from Faith United Methodist Church, and this here Calvary United Methodist Church in Fremont. And this is our garden, our community garden, which we started in conjunction with First United Methodist Church here in Fremont. Our garden has instituted a lot of hope in our congregation because the soil and the ground that we're standing on right now is about 6 inches deep with river rock. And so what started out as kind of a bleak project has obviously grown into some amazing things. And so the congregation, I think, sees what God can do with so little. Our plans in the future, of course, are to move to another side of the church property here where the ground is less rocky and where we'll have a future that will produce more produce, I guess, to say. And we also hope with this project, especially in the town of Fremont with the immigration and stuff that's going on, our goals are to make this community garden an intercultural garden where other cultures from Fremont and around the area can come in and garden and grow their own vegetables and so on and so forth. And then we hope to have fellowship with them in that regard, where we can share our different foods, share our different cultures together, and build bridges in this town, which very much needs bridges to be built.
I'm Kim Beeger.
I'm Teresa Fletcher.
And I'm Tom Black. And this is what we call the Eden's Garden. It's in town in Auburn, and currently has 13 raised beds.
Designed for community, a place where gardeners can get together and maybe learn from each other, share. There's a lot of sharing that goes on around here, I think. Yeah.
I initially thought we'd attract a lot of the single older people in town, but we haven't done that a lot. I was thinking ladies that might live in an apartment by themselves that grew up on a farm would just fall in love with it, but we've attracted more local people. Probably half the garden is now within walking distance.
We do have one couple that's in a wheelchair that comes and has one of the garden spots over there. So that's been nice because it's raised that they can have access to that.
We had a squash garden.
We pulled one Wednesday. I don't know what it was though. There's one of whatever those. I would need to ask. You probably haven't touched it.
No, not yet.
You probably look at the stuff I still need to get pictures of the dinner.
The youth group in our church for probably the past 6, 7, 8 years have been gleaning pumpkins at some local pumpkin patches, either near Auburn or over in Missouri. And some of those patches haven't been planted the last few years, so the kids last year planted pumpkins here at the Lord's Acre, and then we added gourds to that too, and then around Halloween they sell pumpkins to the congregation and to people in town. All the proceeds go to Heifer International. They get to pick out what animals they buy with all the money. So on the east side of this little plot here are gourds and pumpkins that'll be coming in around October, and that'll be the kids project again this year.
Saturday mornings we're at the farmers market. I mean, we have fun. My husband and I actually look forward to going out to work or getting up to go to the market, just to be amongst, you know, our fellow workers and members, and then we're talking to people that's in the community that come by.
Well, and as I said, I haven't felt like it's been work, because it's been it's fit into our gifts and our passions, and it's a source of positive energy for all of us and for the church in the community.
Thank you for your support of the